Luke Van Ness at number 13.
Yeah,
I
so
yeah, people hate this pick. I
yeah,
don't mind it. It's a Packers pick. I
I
like it.
had them going with Kincaid. I thought that, this is clearly the pick they needed, especially when you look at their receiving numbers from last year, and they weren't that great with Aaron Rodgers. Now you get Jordan Love, and you take a guy on the defensive side of the ball with the receivers they have. It's just not going to be a very good combination, and they needed some juice up there, and they did not get that by drafting a defensive player. I mean, he's not a bad player, don't get me wrong, but they needed an offensive player here,
Yeah, and
and they
I
didn't
just
get
hate
it.
this pick, especially just knowing when you have the best receiver on the board, JSN still left. And like I just don't see the rationale in not taking. You did the same thing with Aaron Rodgers as well. You don't give him any weapons, and I don't see why they wouldn't bring in another weapon. I mean, they lose Alan Lazard to free agency. Why not bring in another weapon to help support their young QB going into his basically freshman season? So I don't see the rationale behind this. And if you are going to take edge rusher, you still have Nolan Smith on the board. So I don't see why you don't just go Nolan Smith over Luke Van Ness, especially because Luke Van
Yeah,
Ness, he was in college, he was more of a rotational player, whereas Nolan Smith was more of a consistent every down player. So I really just don't see why you wouldn't take the more experienced guy with a lot more tape and athletic skills that you really look for in an edge rusher over a guy like Van Ness.
yeah, another thing too, as I'm getting my camera readjusted because it's being mean to me. Um, so with the Packers, obviously I was like, dude, JSN still on the board, like what a great pick. And then I was like, oh, this is the Packers. They don't take any special positions
Yeah.
at round one. So of course they were gonna have a Packers moment and take Luke Van Ness. I mean, I think he's a great player. He'll be pretty productive for them, I'd imagine. But I mean, yeah, just a really Packers thing to do. Just
Yeah,
just not taking anyone that's going to help your offense
yeah,
out at
like
all.
not
It's a tragedy.
yeah, not a bad pick, but they just have bigger needs. I think that's what it really boils down to.